with the basic emotions.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know what makes you afraid. You need to know what makes you angry. You need to know what makes you sad. You need to know what disgusts you. You need to know what your contempt is made of. You need to know what does and what has made you feel guilty. And you need to know what makes you ashamed. If you understand, if you have the answer to those things, you know yourself better than 99.9% of the people walk on the face of the earth. The first thing is we haven't been told that's where we should look. And in fact, we've been told don't go there. Why not?
It's scary.
They're bad feelings. We just established that you should know what makes you feel bad, the feelings you don't like, and yet, guess what? We don't tend to study that very much, do we? And one of the reasons we don't study it much is because as we study it, guess what? We feel it. Let's study your headache by giving you one. No, not today. No, we need to give you a headache in order to study it. I don't want it today. All right, tomorrow we'll schedule it. Yes, and then you'll miss the appointment. All right? We naturally, instinctively avoid pain, and yet it should be the object of our study if we're going to understand ourselves. This is the paradox. This is why the Lupin's method, is a little radical. I'm asking people to show up for class not to study things that are boring. I'm taking it a step further. I want you to come in and study things that are painful, and I want you to experience the pain to support the study.
The closer something meaningful is to us, the more pull it has, the more power it has over us. This is true in terms of both time and distance. Defensively and avoidantly, we psychologically distance ourselves from meaningful things in order to gain a sense of control over them. This comes at a cost. One cost of avoiding fear is more fear. One cost of avoiding anger is more depression and acquiescent powerlessness. And what I mean by that is people that just quit. One cost of avoiding sadness is less love in your life. One cost of avoiding disgust is skittish anxiety. One cost of avoiding guilt is a broken moral compass. And one cost of avoiding shame is free-floating rage. This is just a very tiny sample of some of the forms of cost attached to our avoiding our own experience or distancing ourselves from our own reality. Addiction is just one of many different ways in which we can manufacture distance to try to control meaning and experience.
I want it now. Because the long-range commitment, I talk about this in the paper, the long-range commitment is, I can't feel it. I can't see it. You know, the paycheck. You were talking about working real hard, getting there, and then you start out at the bottom. $287? You're fucking kidding me. Like, I did all that for this, you know? If we're mature and we're adult, the idea that I'm working hard and I get a paycheck someday and it's going to lead to something someday, we're kind of good with the idea that it's not paying off right now. That is if we're mature.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I kind of want my payoff right now. If I'm living with a real conviction, a real belief in the possibility of wonderful long-term goals, I really don't mind working toward them. I really don't mind. In other words, I feel a piece of that coming closer every day that I work for it. And it's so wonderful that I'm actually willing to wait and labor at it. Does that sound like us? Which is demoralizing. So the fuck it's about the long range commitments enter into your experience, and the desire to have gratification right now goes through the roof. There's your cravings. There's cravings. I need it now. And in fact, I need it now badly because it's actually the medicine or the compensation for the loss of the meaningful goals that might have made my life worth living.